Hey there, my name is Adeola James. How are you doing today? It's been several months actually, where I've shown up every week to share content, sometimes once a week, sometimes two times a week, sometimes more. And I feel so excited that I have information, personal experiences, and things that I have learned to share with the world. And I really, really hope that it's been beneficial to you and useful to you in your life. If it has, please subscribe right now. Please share with other people so that they can also benefit from this. But also click the notification bell down there so that when I drop new videos, you'll be one of the first people to know and you can watch it. Okay? So today, I'm going to talk about something that is very personal to me, and it's your body image and self-acceptance. Yes? This was something I really battled with, my body image. You know, when I was a lot younger, I was very skinny, and I hated myself skinny because I naturally have skinny features. My fingers are skinny, I have my veins, showing up. And even now with my size, it still happens. And people used to think that I was sick. I looked really, really skinny. Because also I had a very funny eating habit. And because I wasn't indulged by my parents to eat what I liked, I was forced to eat. And so I really hated food, or certain kinds of food, and how they treated me as a child really with food. Okay, so I think I kind of grew up rebelling against certain foods and deciding when I was old enough to cut off those things and eat only the things that I liked. And then I moved abroad. I used to live in Lagos, Nigeria, and then I moved to the UK. And now, voila, I have everything at my disposal whenever, however, whenever, and whatever, right? And so I started to eat all kinds of things, and I did, started to increase in my size. And I think I must have gotten to a point where I'm like, okay, now I think I might be a bit too big. But I mean, it didn't matter. I would have rather that than being skinny, because it seemed like now, okay, I was filling up in the right places and how I liked it. And then I would say that when I met the man that I was going to marry, he kind of made a fuss about my weight. And because my self-esteem was already a bit shaky, I think what he said bothered me and affected me in some way. So I started to feel very unattractive. I also started to feel like my confidence in my size and myself dwindled a lot. And so I found myself doing all kinds of things. I mean, then I got pregnant. Oh, I forgot to say that. And then I had my baby, and then I added another dress size or something. And I'm not sure that also helped, because now it seemed like he was less attracted to me. It seemed. He never said it, but I felt like that was the case, or I created a meaning to certain things that he would say or do as that. And so that kind of also worsened it, right? So what I started to do was I plunged into all kinds of things, teas, herbal mixes, or anything that will come out and say you're going to shed weight, I will do. I did some diets. Some of them worked for a bit, some of them didn't, and so I yo-yoed, right? And I'm sure that some of you can hear yourself in this story. I've yo-yoed, or I yo-yoed, and I really just couldn't accept myself the way I was. One day I was listening to somebody, I can't remember who, but the person said to me, said, and it spoke to me, that you cannot lose, or you can't release what you do not love. Anything that, any kind of energy that you put somewhere is what you're going to get back. So if you put negative energy into anything, that's what you're going to get back. And so I started to think, oh, maybe that's what I've been doing, because I might shed a bit of weight and I'll add it again. So it seemed like I would expand and then retract. And trust me, I tried all kinds of things. I might have even tried a diet that almost shut down my entire system one time like this. And so I thought, okay, you know what, I'm going to ditch all these things. And so I then became a hypnotherapist, and I realized after doing some sessions around myself why really I had kept on the weight. And that gave me a lot of aha moments, right? And so I started to do certain things on myself. I started to first speak the right words to myself. That was the first thing I had to start doing. I had to appreciate my body. I had to appreciate my body parts and thank it for the job that it had done. I realized that the weight was there to cushion me and help me as a person. But also, I felt like I needed it because I was a savior. And saviors like to hug, right? Like to hold people tight. And you need the body to be able to do that so that people can feel warm in your embrace. And that's one of the things that happened to me. And so I decided to start to, you can't hate something and let it go. I started to talk to myself to love myself and accept myself for how I am right now, realizing that I'm no longer 10 years old or 12 or 14 or 20. I'm now in my 40s, right? And so I'm no longer who I was. I'm no longer who I was. So first of all, just even understanding that who I am today is who I am today, right? And who I am tomorrow might be different, but who I am today is who I am. I stopped comparing myself to who I used to be. I stopped competing with other people to say, oh, if this person can do this, I can also do it too. And I fell in love with me. Of course, my self-esteem has gotten it's top notch. My confidence is top notch. Everything is right back to where it was when I was a child, because I lost it somewhere in between, right? And so everything has gone back, because there's no child that you see that say, oh, mommy, my hips are too big, unless somebody has been saying it to that child. They roll around in their pants, enjoying themselves. And that's the confidence level that I've gotten back to, So, if you're one of those kind of people who struggled with your weight for a while, I think the first thing you need to do, just like me, is acceptance. Accept that you are who you are today. Then maybe there's some gratitude there that you can throw in as well. Being grateful for the body parts that you have and what they've done. So I started to do a lot of mirror work. I will stand in front of the mirror and just look at myself without wearing clothes and appreciate every body part of mine. My arms, my beautiful arms that has held on to people and given them warmth and comfort. Thank you. My bosoms, everything about me. I started to really sit down and appreciate them for what they're doing and what they have done. And the ones that I've said that I don't want, I release them and say, you don't need to do this job anymore. I've got this now. And so I'm in a much better place about my body. I know now that I eat the things that I need to eat, the nutritional foods that I need to eat to help me, right? Of course, I did a lot of hypnosis on myself as well, where I started to listen to the things that and the kind of body that I want to have. I started to tell myself, I created a persona for myself as an athlete. I started to tell people that I'm training for the triathlon. So I'm starting with swimming, then I'm going to go to running, and then walking. I created a persona. I created a picture that I put on my wall that I wanted to see every day to inspire me, because that is the person that I'm going to be. I started to do the things that I love about myself. I went into getting the clothes that would accentuate my body. The fabric also, it was the whole 9 yards for me, so that I can appreciate myself and love myself and give my body what it desires and what it wants. And like I said, the ones that I don't want, I said, thank you very much for what you've done in my life. You can now go. So if you're battling with your self-image and your body, I think the first thing you need to do is love yourself. Yeah? Love yourself deeply. Accept that this is who you are today, knowing that you can do better if you choose to. And tell yourself, I choose to do better, and so I'll do better. Once again, you can't release anything you hate. You've got to love you. And it doesn't matter what other people are saying. If you love you, if people say, oh, look at how big you are, you tell them, thank you. I've got wonderful arms that hold people. I mean, the way you will change it, even they will be wondering, I thought it was going to hurt her, but it didn't hurt her because you're saying the right words to yourself and you love yourself now differently. Okay, so you want to try that and see if it helps. And I really hope that, sharing my story has helped you um, understand that the words you say to yourself matter the most. It took me a while to learn it, but the moment I learned it, I became very comfortable with myself and I love me completely. Whilst I do what my body needs, to stay healthy, because my temple is all I have to carry me to the ends of the earth. So love you today and treat you better, okay? Say kind words to yourself. Stand in front of the mirror and tell yourself how grateful you are for all your body parts and what they've done for you. And kiss it, kiss yourself, Love on yourself. Teach yourself how to love yourself a lot more and accept you for who you are today, knowing once again that you can do better. Have a wonderful day. And I hope that, when we see again, you'll be loving yourself a lot more. Love and light. Bye.